Hello everybody, welcome back to an edition of the TeSys Island training. I'm your host, Leandro Mada, and in this video what I'm going to show you is how we can use the software Machine Expert to communicate with the TeSys Island and control the avatars over Ethernet IP. So let's go to the software. So this is a already working application of the M262, but I'm going to start from scratch so you can see how you can connect with the island. So first thing is to add your PLC. In my case is the M262 L10, but you can work with the M241 if it has Ethernet, or the M251 if it has the Ethernet port. So this is the controller. Here I'm going to delete the serial port. So the thing that you need to do is to configure the IP address. In my case, it's going to be this one, 255.255.255. And for this thing, I always do this for testing. This one, in this particular case, doesn't matter because I'm not connected, but I'm going to configure anyway. 62.255.255.255. So I have configured the Ethernet port of the PLCs in this case. So now I'm going to use the Ethernet port 2, and I'm going to use the Ethernet I/O scanner. And then in the Ethernet I/O scanner, what I need to do is to add the TeSys Island. So here in motor starters, TeSys Island, add device, close, and that's it. So on the TeSys Island, here on the target settings, in this case, I'm going to use fixed IP address, but you need to check if you're going to use the ACP or not. I'm going to use fixed IP address. In my case, is the 31. Okay. And then for the configuration of the TeSys Island, what I usually do, okay, you need to follow me, but I open some move and then I create the thing from there. So I'm going to open some move. In my case, I already have the application loaded in there. So what I'm going to show you is how you can upload it from the Machine Expert. Okay, so this is the move. So here in the move, what you can do is to edit connection. Here you just scan for devices. You just put the IP address that you want to connect to. If it's the TeSys Island is new, as you saw in some of the other videos, the default IP address should be 10.10.0.1 if I'm not wrong. But you can check it on the other video. So scan network, it should be able to recognize the TeSys Island, connect, and then it should upload in configuration and everything from the TeSys Island. Okay, so this will upload information. Okay, and this is the actual TeSys Island configuration I have. So if I show you here, as you can see, I have the bus coupler, I have the digital I/O, the analog I/O, I have the voltage interface, the starters, the seal starters over here with the seal interface, and I have a power interface already connected over here, and on my side here I have the M262. So going back here, this is the configuration, and this is the avatar view. You can see here the configurations over Ethernet IP. So for this part seems to be fine. Okay, so how we can import these configurations into the Machine Expert? Easy. So here, no, this icon, you have the possibility to, in the overview, start offline or upload from device. So as soon as you're trying to upload from device, first it will try to connect with the controller. Okay, so in my case here, I don't have let me just put this one as a So we connect to this one rather than the other one. My controller, you see in bold. So it will try to connect to this controller first. So it's important that you configure the IP address first, okay? And to double check if everything is on the right place, you can check the Ethernet port configuration here in the Ethernet services, Ethernet 2, if it's already fixed or not. So this is the default name that you can have for TeSys Island. So I'm going to change this and have another one. So properties, it's going to be my TeSys Island. So I can use a different name. Yes, and it will change that in all the parts of the project. You can see here it has this and carry on. So it changed the name of my TeSys Island. And it's important to remember this because it's the object name that we need to use in our project. So I'm going to do upload from device. So upload from device. Here I'm going to use the manual because I know already the IP address. Continue. Okay. So I'm going to use this PLC in order to connect. 162 test administrator. Okay. So administrator, Control C, Control B, and there we go. So I can connect to this controller. The new controller with the new application is going to be empty. Okay. Yes, it doesn't matter. We can do this. The idea will be for you to develop the complete application, but I want to show you step by step how the project changed when I have the new configuration. So it's downloading information. The PLC is stop. Okay, so I have the connection with the controller right now. And here, this one is not connected. Okay, so I'm going to make a upload from device. Upload from device. Continue. I have this over here. Okay. And something I didn't check is if the device that I have added is Ethernet IP or Modbus TCP. So it will add the configuration I had before. And then if we go to the IO mapping, it will add all the things that I need to use, which is quite nice. So what I'm going to do now is to disconnect from here. Disconnect. This adapter. Okay. Don't worry at all on this one. Okay, so I have this device already connected in theory here. So let's overview target 131. Perfect, don't worry at all. So now that we have this TeSys Island already connected, okay, target is in the same range, everything, we should be able to start making some programs. So in order to make some programs here, view SR I'm going to use this language and I'm going to add it here in the must. I'm going to delete the default one. So we just need to add function blocks. When we add the TeSys Island, we should be able to see this library over here. We have the different controls. we also have the system control, which is for the bus coupler. So we need to add this one first. So it's going to be TeSys Iceland dot system control instance avatar 1. I'm going to name the avatar 1 is the bus coupler. And then here we just need to use the name of the my island. So here is going to be my TeSys Iceland. Okay, then we have the enable and everything. So what we need to do is to match the avatar view that we have with the function blocks that we have already. So in my case, I have motor one direction. So let's add TeSys Iceland motor one direction instance avatar 2. Here we can make this link like this. Let's add another one button TeSys Iceland dot analog IO instance avatar 3 and here is in red because it's asking for this input and output. We have it up over there like that. Instead of using this, we can directly use this connection mark. So we put this one over here. So just copy and paste. It's going to be a connector. This is Iceland. And then in the next one, this one's going to be TeSys Iceland dot motor one direction 241 instance avatar 4 and we can use the connection mark and use the same name that we have in the top bar. See, this is and then here we just need to use the TeSys Iceland dot power metering power interface instance avatar 5. And again, we can do something like this if you want. Okay, so this is the blocks. We just need to know where they call and we just need to map with the configuration that we have before. Okay, simple as that. Then if you take a look over here, each avatar has an avatar name. This information of the avatar name is the one that we need to use over this field. So we need here a string variable in order then to put the string name. Okay, but I have done visualization so we can speed up the process without the need to create variables. In this case, just to show you that it can work. So here, visualization. Okay. And then here in the library, I will need to add my library. I have some few things already done. If everything was fine, should be able to upload this information. Just wait for it. Okay, it seems to be load. So here we have TeSys Iceland, and I have a few interfaces. Okay, so we can directly use it on the visualization. Okay, so I'm going to close this part, and here what I need to do is to add the frame Of course, if you're using an application, probably you are not using the visualization I have done, because you should be able to add the variables directly to an HMI or someone else. Here just going to show you that it works integration. So system double click, it will add the visualization that I want. Here the instance, we just need to select the instance for that avatar I have created, avatar system control 1. That's it. Then I'm going to put the control for the motor one direction, which is the next one. We just need to link now with the avatar number 2. And then you should be able to work fine. If not, then we need to check here why it doesn't connect, but we can check it. So now let's download this to the device. Doesn't just connect, so I didn't add the right thing or speed up the process, but let's see. Okay, so here you can see that I have, if it's green, it means that it's okay. So it's okay. I have the device already connected. Here there is nothing already executed, so what I need to do is to go here to the visualization, active, and it's in operational. And if we go here to the block, you'll see it's operational and everything. Now if we want to control the other one, we just need to enable this part. You can see there is an error because I haven't accessed, I haven't put the avatar name. So the avatar name is important. We need to add that. So here it's going to be AVA mod for avatar motor. So AVA mod. Now if I enable this, you can see it's active and ready to use. So if I run this, you can see there is amp and it's running. Okay, it's running forward, where you are hearing the sound of the motor running. Okay, as you can see here, I have voltage, and then I'm going to disable it. So this is quite easy to show that we have the full integration here. So a few things that we, in this particular video, I already explained how to do it on EtherNet. There is something that you need to be aware, is that in order to use the library test designer, you need to always check the DTM and the firmware compatible with the version of the machine export that you're using. Okay, because that can create some kind of confusion. There are some incompatibilities depending on the firmware and the library, so you need to be aware of that. So in this case, now I'm going to show you that we can work without these things. So let's see. The avatar name for this one, if you go here, avatar 3, avatar name was the Ava Anna. So this one is Ava Anna. Okay. Yes. And then I'm going to enable this. You can see I'm reading something on the analog input. I don't know, I haven't done this demo test, so I really don't know what it's connected to. But yes, it's reading information. And if you want, you can create variables to attach this and make it fix. So for example, let's go here to the motor one direction. I'm going to specify the address or the variable name. Since this case was Ava mod. So as you can see, I'm fixing this as a string value. Okay, it's a string value, and then here I'm going to use cmd run. No, cmd run for here in the bottom run, and this one is going to be cmd enable avatar 2. So in case you don't want to use the template, the visualization template, it's fine. Don't worry, it will work anyway. But you will need to manually come here and select the things instead of directly use it. So for testing, the visualization is quite handy. But for developing, no. Just for testing and see what is really happening in just one view. Because here I cannot change it because it's overlapping with information that I put it at the place. And even if I enable it or run it, it will not work because it's waiting for this to be enabled. So here it's true, it's ready. As you can see, there's voltage over there, it's active, and then I can run it from here. You can see it's running forwards and I have the visualization. And then here I go to disable it. Okay, so this will show you a few things how it can be done. Hopefully in the future I will add different visualization depending on the avatar, but it will depend on time and availability. So this is how you can make the communication with the TeSys island. Of course, this is just for the avatars, some of the avatars, but there are a few more things that you can use. So if you go to the library manager here, you have this TeSys island. Let me just take a look, where is it? TeSys island here. You have for energy, power, and you just need to find the right avatar name in case you're using the avatar name and the reference for the island. So those are the parameters that you need to take into account here. The TeSys island name, which is the one that you have over here configured in your system, and the avatar name, which is the one that you use on some of on using the DTM, or inside here the machine expert, which is this name that you have over there, okay, for the avatar view. And then depending on what you're after, you have everything there. You have also the possibility to get and set the date and time on the TeSys island, which is good, and totally recommend you to do that. So you have all the data history in there already with the right time. So this is how you can communicate the PLC program in EcoStruxure Machine Expert using EtherNet IP to our TeSys island. Okay, as you can see, we have a specific library that allows us to connect, communicate, and control the TeSys island. So I totally recommend to go in this direction. Something important, again, check the DTM and the firmware version that is compatible with the software library, okay, in order to avoid any issues before. So far this one, EtherNet IP. So thank you very much for watching this video, and see you on the next one.